Well, good afternoon, El Paso. My name is Gregg Davis, and on the behalf of the Macaw Neighborhood Center, I'd like to take this a little bit of time to reflect on this year's Kwanzaa's presentation and also a brief history of what's on the horizon for the Macaw Neighborhood Center. First and foremost, I'd like to introduce myself just to tell you just a little bit about myself. As I stated, my name is Gregg Davis. I was born and raised in Beckley, West Virginia in 1959. Uh, I came up through the public school system in the city of Beckley, and I was able to position myself to attain a scholarship and attend college in Raleigh, North Carolina at St. Augustine's University, historically African American College in Raleigh. After my tenure, my 4 years uh, college, I came to El Paso, Texas, and I joined the military. I was in the military for 4 years, active duty. Then I got into the reserves. And then I decided to get into the private sector, business sector within El Paso, where I've been living ever since. Um, just to tell you a little bit about our board of directors at the McCall Neighborhood Center, just to let you know, we are a volunteer board. And we consist of, first, I have a vice president. Her name is Patricia White. Our secretary is May Reed. Our treasurer is Mr. Raymond Cartwright. Our historian is Miss Juliet Hart. And what I want to mention about Miss Juliet Hart, coincidentally, she was part of the first board of directors in 1984 when we called Neighborhood Center. So that position as historian is very significant for her. We have uh, our manager of our building, where our media past president is Miss Doris Taylor. Our building manager is Miss Barbara Bird, and some of our directors. First, we have Miss Anna Harris Howell. We have Mr. Wade Hampton, Mr. Carl Robinson, who is actually a county commissioner here in El Paso, and we have retired judge and attorney, Mr. Donald L. Williams. Um, the McCall Neighborhood Center, the mission of the McCall Neighborhood Center is to preserve and advance the history of the African American community in El Paso in an atmosphere that nurtures the young and the old. And we do this by offering a variety of integrated services that enhances the quality of life at the McCall Center. And we do this, we think the McCall Center is actually a focus point for building the community spirit that will foster community revitalization. A little bit of history about the McCall Center. On December the 1st, 1984, the McCall Heritage and Cultural Center was established by Mrs. Leona Ford Washington. And under her persuasion, Miss Washington, who was coincidentally an educator, a community activist, and a visionary, she was able to purchase the site on a forgivable loan from the city of El Paso. And when that happened, that's when the name changed to McCall Neighborhood Center. Miss Washington also served as the executive director of the McCall Neighborhood Center until her health began to fail in the early 1990s. The McCall Neighborhood Center is El Paso's key gathering place for many small organizations. Although The majority of organizations that meet at the center are African American. We want it to be known that it's open to all who desire to enhance the existence of this wonderful place that we have now in our local history. And the Mccall Center is our place. And I encourage everybody to look at the Mccall Center as your place and establish a sense of ownership and responsibility in the Macaw Neighborhood Center. The center, we have a museum, a gift shop, several rooms that classes, which classes fraternities, sororities, civic organizations, cultural organizations of interest, and they have their meetings there of any kind of activities. Um, Major African American celebrations such as Kwanzaa, the Martin Luther King Luncheon, the annual Juneteenth breakfast are all held at the center. To give you just a few facts about the McCall Neighborhood Center, Marshall McCall was the first African American postal worker in El Paso. His wife, Odalie McCall, was the principal of Douglas School, which was the African American school in El Paso, and it was established in approximately 1895. This school was the home of students through kindergarten and also the 12th grade. So, on a gracious donation from Mr. and Mrs. McCall, that's how this all got started. The historic home of Marshall and Odalie McCall, this valuable piece of history in El Paso, is in need of donations. Admission is free, and the center is open Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. and on weekends by appointment. So that just gives you just a little bit of background of the McCall Neighborhood Center. Next, I want to mention some of the activities that we have at the McCall Neighborhood Center. And we just a couple of days ago just finished our week of Kwanzaa, and I'd like to thank all the organizations that participated in that. And hopefully we can get them up here on the screen in just a second so you can witness who they were. Okay, if not, we'll just go ahead and mention them. We started Kwanzaa on the 26th of December, and on the first night, the presenters were Oral Court number 20. Their subject was Umoja, which is unity. They did a fantastic job to kick off Kwanzaa. On day two, the presenters were Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, the Eta Pi Omega chapter in El Paso. Their topic of discussion was self-determination. On day three, we had our first virtual presentation of Kwanzaa. It was done by the top ladies of distinction and Duchess of Theta Sorority Incorporated, the El Paso Alumni chapter. And their topic was collective works and responsibility, Ujima. On the fourth day, the topic was Ujama, cooperative economics, and the presenters were Kappa Epsilon Psi, military sorority. And I want to mention cooperative economics, because we're going to talk a little bit about cooperative economics and how that applies to the McCall Neighborhood Center. On day five, our presenters were the Buffalo Soldiers Motorcycle Club, and their topic of discussion was NIA, or the purpose in our community. That was also done by virtual. On day six, we were rounding out Kwanzaa. The presenters were Anna Howe and the Phyllis Weekly Club. Their topic of discussion was Kumba, the creativity. And we ended Kwanzaa on the seventh day, on Saturday, January the 1st, Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated with Theta Delta Lambda chapter talked about Imani, or faith. I want to take this moment to thank each and every one of those organizations that took the time to get a program together and to spread at the Mccall Center the way we've been doing for the past several years. So I want to thank everybody that attended in that program, in any of those programs also. And thank those groups one more time and very graciously for taking the time and presenting to Lions to us this year. Um, at the Mccall Center, we have a couple of fundraising projects that we count on, and we have an ongoing project right now. For the second year and a half, we have a fundraiser that we are selling 2022 calendars. 2022 calendars. This is a picture of the cover of the calendar. We're very proud of these calendars. Uh, the calendars are very informative. If you breeze through the calendars, it lists some African American businesses that is within El Paso. Uh, we have an El Paso religious directory that mentions most of the African American and other churches, the Islamic Center, any kind of religious organizations. Each month, we're proud to say that each month is sponsored by a local organization, uh, whether it be a civic organization, a athletic organization, or a religious organization. For example, in the month of January, we give thanks to the Fellowship of Love Christian Center. They're sponsoring January. Praise Temple is February. Um, we have Kappa Alpha Psi for October. We have the El Paso Camp for the NAACP for May, and on and on and on. So I like to encourage everybody to uh, to help us uh, promote this calendar, or maybe purchase one of these calendars for your home. For your home, the calendars are only $10. The price is only $10. You can order your copy like this. You can go by the Mccall Center any day, Monday through Friday, between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. And you will see our building manager there, Ms. Barbara Bird. You can send me an email personally, and I also put my Cash App number there. Like I say, the price is only $10. Um, we have a couple of dozen, a few dozen of these calendars left, and for sure we'd appreciate if everybody collectively uh, help us to sell these calendars, and it would be for the goodness, for the financial goodness of the Paul neighborhood. The last thing I want to talk about is a program that we have at the McCall Neighborhood Center. And actually, it's called our 50/50 program. You know, I want to mention that the McCall Neighborhood Center survives by self sufficiency. And in Kawanza, we talk a lot about cooperative economics. And the McCall Neighborhood Center is actually a way that you can practice cooperative economics in El Paso. Is getting together, pooling money together for the purpose of achieving and making stable any kind of business, any kind of project that you got going on. And in this case, we like to mention the Call Neighborhood Center. We have a program called the 50/50 Club. And when it was originally organized, the 50/50 Club was meant to solicit 50 donors within the city of El Paso that may give $50 per month. And this will help sustain the McCall Neighborhood Center. But I want to say that it's not limited to 50 individuals, and it's certainly not limited to $50 monthly. We encourage all organizations, all citizens of El Paso to help us sustain this center, because it takes money. to keep the lights on. It takes money to keep the heat on. It takes money to flush the toilets. And we have expenses, monthly expenses. But with generous donations from donors like you, we are able to keep this center going for the last few decades by the grace of God. Just to let you know, in the upcoming months, probably in the next 30 days or so, we will start a campaign to solicit members to our 50/50 club. And like I want to mention again, this 50/50 club is not limited to 50 individuals. We would love to get 150 contributors to our 50/50 club. And it's certainly not limited to $50 per month. Whatever your disposable income is, if you have $20 a month, if you have $30 a month, that you can contribute to the Macaw Neighborhood Center on a continuous basis, you will qualify for our 50/50 club. And if you have $150 or $250 that you would like to contribute monthly, it would also uh, help us tremendously sustain our facility and to do the works that we want to do within the city of El Paso. So in closing, I'd like to thank our technical support, our webmaster, Ms. Monica Tucker, for organizing this short briefing in the Call Neighborhood Center. And hopefully we can do something on a monthly basis just to get us back out there in the community to let you know that we are still in resistance. This is for the last 18 months through the pandemic, but we're back, we're operating. The Macaw Neighborhood Center is open for any organization events that you may have. The fee is nominal, it's minimal, and we'd like for you to contact us if we can help you, and please contact us if you can help us in any way. So I want to thank you very much for allowing me this opportunity to speak to you, and I want to wish you a happy new year and have a blessed day. Thank you very much. Indeed.